Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to Kimo TV. In this edition, we are going to delve deeper into the verses of the Quran, particularly pertaining to the last video which we did. That is wine in paradise. Wine in paradise. There are numerous verses which were quoted, and the explanations I did not give. But there is this very verse which I did not add to the previous ones. That is Holy Quran chapter 7. It is chapter 47. It is the verse which the very person in the video wanted to, expatiate. But well, I don't know. But I think he forgot what the words in the video in the Quran. And let's listen to this. Afterwards, we will explain what is in that chapter and what really the meaning of that verse is. Let's listen.
Another benefit in heaven is that no one falls sick.
No one falls sick. That's why you can manage all the 70. Why? So what and what else?
There's no sickness.
No sickness.
Food is free, abundantly free. Even we as Muslims, we are not permitted to take alcohol in this world. But in paradise, we will drink alcohol.
In heaven there is no beer. That is why they are drinking all the beer here.
And we are told that, see the funny thing, we are told that as for the alcohol in this world, when you drink it, you lose your mind. When you take it, you talk anyhow because you are now shameless. You don't care about anything because the mind is not there. But they said that the alcohol in heaven, when you drink it, you begin to fly like an aeroplane.
Hey! Quran told you people this.
Yes. When you drink it,
you fly like aeroplane.
You begin to fly.
And you believed.
Yes. You begin to fly. And when you are landing, you will land on a woman.
Okay. So this very person said all these in the video. And this is why it is important for some of us to, explain the verses of the Quran. It is very important. If you don't know, then the problem which you are going to have is that you will begin to think that, hey, it is true, and the Quran is subjected to doubt because you're going to take an alcohol in heaven and you will begin to fly like an aeroplane, which is not so. It is not so. There are so many things that are mentioned in the Quran, and in the previous video, I, made mention of some verses of the Quran, particularly when we look at, the Quran chapter 13, verse 24. It mentions that there is going to be spouses in heaven. What is the meaning of spouses in heaven? Is it really true that we are going to get married in heaven? If it is not so, what is the meaning? If it is so, why is it that we are going to, be with spouses? The next one is in Quran chapter 88, verse 10. It says what? There is not going to be any unsuitable speech in paradise. No unsuitable speech. Is it that we are going to have conversation in paradise? Is it the meaning? Okay, we will get to know those things in this video. The next one is the paradise is a garden of refuge. It is a garden of refuge. What is the meaning of it? Garden of refuge. We have another verse of the Quran, which is Quran chapter 56, verse 17 to 38, which says that there is not going to be headache, no intoxication. There is going to be abundance of fruits in the heaven. There is going to be meat of fowl in heaven. There's going to be women in heaven with large eyes as if they were, pearls. And it says what? There is going to be beds raised so high for the believers. In Quran chapter 9, verse 72, it says that those in heaven shall, have rivers of water flowing 24/7 in the garden, in the paradise. This and more are in the Quran. What are the real meanings? Does it really mean that we're going to eat, drink, make merry in paradise and everything? As in what we do here in this earth, is it like that in heaven? That is what we're going to do there. Okay, let's read this verse of the Quran so that I can add it up to the others and explain. Do not go away. But before I read, I will plead with you to please share the video to others so that they will also follow and learn from what you are learning from. Share the video to others so that they will benefit from what you are benefiting. Share the video to others so that they will also learn and know that the Quran is not a book which is subjected to doubts. The Quran says qayyiman, meaning the book is most upright. There is no doubt in it. So if that is the situation, then we have to know that that is the reality in the book. Please share to the others. If there is anything which you want to make known to us, if there is any changes which you want us to make, if there is any comment, any recommendations, you can make such recommendations in the comment section or send your comment to this number on WhatsApp. That is 027 944 8888. That's plus 233 279 44 8888. We will gladly respond to your text on WhatsApp. Now let's go to the Quran. In Quran chapter 47, that is Surah Al-Muhammad, verse number 15, says that Masalul Jannati u'idda al-muttaqun. And let me make this clear. In the Quran, when we say masal, masal means example. It also means illustration. It also means description. So I said masal, and when I am translating, I will use what? The word description. Because description is the most appropriate word for the term masal in this verse. It says, Mathalul jannatu u'idda al-muttaqun. Mathalul jannatu allati u'idda al-muttaqun. فيها أنهار من ماء غير آثم وأنهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه وأنهار من خمر لذة للشاربين وأنهار من عسل مصفى ولهم فيها من كل الثمرات ومغفرة من ربهم. So that is the Arabic text, and the translation is a description of the garden promised to the righteous. Therein are rivers of water which corrupts not, and rivers of milk of which the taste changes not, and rivers of wine and delight to those who drink, and rivers of clarified honey, and in it will they have all kinds of fruits and forgiveness from their Lord. Ila akhir al-ayah. This is the verse which our friend and brother wanted to, explain. And he, jumped to, when you drink the alcohol, you're going to fly like a bird. Unfortunately, it is not there in, the Quran that when you drink the wine or the alcohol, you're going to fly like a bird. And matter of fact, it is not that we are going to paradise and then be drinking and eating and dancing and everything. No. And it is not the reason for which God says we should not drink alcohol in this world. It is stated clearly in the Quran that khamr wal maisir is haram for the believers, because the benefits in it is very little as compared to the harm. So it is because of the harm that we are prevented or prohibited from taking alcohol and even gambling. Okay, with that said, I want us to know that God is also not biased. Our brother said something that when you drink the alcohol of paradise, you fly like a bird and you will land on a woman. I want to ask him, is it that all those people who are going to be in paradise, is it true that all those who are going to be in paradise are going to really fly after drinking and land on women? If it is true, then it means that all those inheritors of the paradise are going to be what? Male. there is not going to be any female in paradise. Or it means that it is only male who will be made to drink the alcohol. Female will not drink some, which is also partiality. And there is no partiality in Al-Jannah. So if it is the situation, then my brother, please, let's go to the Quran and learn what is there. It is not true that you're going to drink the wine and afterwards you begin to fly like an aeroplane and you will land on a woman. That is not true. Let's go to the key words in the verse and what the tafsir says. Most important words. Anhar. Anhar means rivers. The plural form for nahrun, that is river, which is infinitive noun from nahara. Nahara is the verb, which means it flowed, or to flow, or to flow with force. Nahar means a river, a brook, a stream. A river, a brook, a stream, they all flow. The word also means amplitude, or light and amplitude. This is according to Lisanul Layn. Lisanul Layn is an Arabic lexicography, that is an Arabic dictionary which is recognized by everybody. Everybody, I mean all the Arabs, all the Arabic scholars, and everyone who knows Arabic. The next one is asal. Asal means honey. It is also infinitive noun from asal. Asala is the root word. So there is an Arabic word which is usually used when it comes to asala. It says asalu to'am. Asalu ta'am means he prepared the food with honey. When we say someone prepared the food with honey, and a perfect example is when you make, Lipton or tea or coffee, whatever, and you don't want to put sugar, you want to put honey, and you add honey. It means that you prepared the tea or the Lipton with honey. So that is the meaning of it. He prepared the food with honey. They say asalahu, that is, he made him an object of eulogy. He made him an object of love to men. Asalahu. So that very word, which means honey, can also mean to make someone an object of love to men. So if someone is, when someone becomes an object of love to men, you can use the word honey for that person. That is why some married couple call their spouses honey or honey. We all know that. So according to the Arabic word, when you say asal, you are also saying that a person can be subjected to love of men or love of people. Okay. This I am making clear because it all amounts to the real meaning of these words which are found in the book. Alright, let's continue. He says, he made him an object of love to men. Asal means honey, flowers, or blossoms, because honey is made therefrom. So honey is made from blossoms. Wow. That is really interesting. So it gives additional meaning to the word there. So when you see honey in the Quran, it does not really mean honey unless it applies physically. So if it is in the physical sense, then yes, of course, you're going to taste honey. That is, as stated in the Quran, I think Surah An-Nahl, that in the belly of the honey bee is something nice, that is the honey, that is having much more benefits to men and creations. So that is there, all right, but this gives us additional meaning when you want to give it a spiritual meaning. Okay, Now let's continue. It says a good or righteous deed. Is that okay? Fine, yeah. A good or righteous deed, the eulogy for which a person is deemed sweet. So, if there be a situation that makes a person what? Sweet, then we call that person asal, honey or honey. This definition is also according to Lisanul Lane. The verse mentioned 4 kinds of favors and blessings promised to believers in this and the next life. That is, in this life and the next life. I.e., rivers of pure water, rivers of milk, of which the taste does not change, rivers of wine, which gives delight, and rivers of clarified honey. So these are the four things that were mentioned in the verse. Okay. The word anhar, which has been used 4 times in the verse. Now let's listen to this. Each of the 4 which were mentioned in the verse, which I quoted earlier, that's chapter 47 verse 15, each of the word was preceded by anhar, anhar, rivers of, rivers of, rivers of. If you are able to understand the term rivers in the spiritual terms or spiritual realm, then you are able to also know the meaning of the word that follows. So the word anhar was not there in vain. It is there for a purpose. It is there for a reason. That very reason is what we have to search for. Okay. So, yes, I read again. The word anhar, which has been used 4 times in the verse, besides other sense, signifies light of amplitude. And asar, among other things, means a good or righteous deed which wins for the doer the love and esteem of men. Allahu Akbar. So if you understand this, then you should know where I'm coming from and where I'm going. So this very meaning tells us that when God mentions something and it refers to Yom al-Akhir, then it shouldn't be, made physical as in what we see here. No, it is way different from what we see here. It says what? In view of the signification of these 2 words, the verse may mean that the 4 things mentioned will be given to the righteous in plenty. So that very word anhar, which is attached to the word which follows, right, means that the very thing which will be given will be plenty. It will never stop. It will continue. So you will continuously have that thing forever and ever and ever. That is the main reason for which God used the term the garden of refuge in Holy Quran chapter 53 verse 14 to 16. The garden of refuge, because every good thing that will happen to you forever. It will never stop. Right. Now in chapter 56 verse 17 to 38 also makes mention of the fact that there will be no headache, there will be no intoxication, and fruits will be in abundance, etc., etc. So if that is the situation, then it means that things which will be provided to those who inherit the Jannah, the paradise, are going to be in abundance. It will never stop. So if this very portion of the Quran says that anhar, 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 then it means that those things are going to be plenty and unstoppable. Water, which is the source of all life. Water is the source of all life. So if we say water is the source of all life, and God has linked water to that of wine, to that of milk, to that of honey, and also spring, which obviously means water itself, it means that there is going to be a life which will not end. There is going to be life which will not end. Okay. According to Holy Quran chapter 21 verse 30, it says that أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. Everything that has life was created from water, which means that life without water cannot be possible. So if God gives water which is flowing consistently in Al-Jannah, then it does not mean that you're going to drink and drink and drink. It only means that you're going to have a life which you are not going to be tired of. All right, now let's continue. Today I've taken my time. I don't want to rush. I don't want to run. I want to take my time. It says milk, which besides giving health and vigor to the body, stands for spiritual knowledge. Let's listen to this. Milk, which, Allahu Akbar, besides giving health and vigor, milk in the physical sense, tells us that milk in the physical sense gives us what? Energy. It gives us energy. So the energy which we get from milk, in the spiritual sense, it says that we are going to get knowledge, because yes, milk also helps, enhances your memory, right? So the milk which can give you vigor and health in the spiritual sense, okay, means that you're going to get knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and you're going to also what? Get everything which you need when it comes to health. So there is no illness in Al-Jannah, because the milk which God has stated is the health itself which you are going to get. So it is not that you're going to get cups and you will fill it with milk and you drink. No, that is not the meaning. On the other hand, wine which gives pleasant sensation and forgetfulness of worry. So when we say wine, in this world, when a person drinks wine, then the person forgets his problems, his worries. But tomorrow, the next day, the problems come back. One thing I've noted about those who drink is that when you drink, you forget about everything, and even the way you walk, you forget it. And your style of walking even changes. So whenever you see a drunkard, the next thing you will see on the face is scratches and wounds or scars all over. Because the person has been falling and hitting his head against things and etc. So if you drink, then the benefit you get is the scars. Yeah. Okay. In paradise, if we are to drink wine, and you tell me that you drink wine and you don't become intoxicated, I would say highly impossible. Yeah, and matter of fact, this is something very serious, because if this very person says that when you drink, you will fly and land on women, then it is, excuse me to say, fornication and prostitution to the whole new level. Because everyone will be flying and landing on women tomorrow, today, every hour, every minute, every second. And people would like to drink because they will land on women, so they have to do it. Alright? And this is it. This is the reason for which I say that I don't believe in what the man said. If the Quran says that you will be given wine, rivers of wine, even it used what? Rivers of wine. It means that since heaven is spiritual and you are all going to be in the spiritual realm, then you will never be worried, because there is nothing to worry about in Al-Jannah. That is the meaning of the wine. So it is not that you will go and take wine and drink. Now let me, pause for a minute and quickly touch this before I come back. When you are reading the Quran, you will find out that in chapter 76, in chapter 76 verse 19, it states that there is going to be a fountain called Salsabil, and everyone will have a drink from Salsabil. It is a very nice fountain, like it's having a very good taste. It never stops flowing, a very nice drink, and you will drink. You will not be worried, you will not be tired of it. You will drink and you will not be filled. You will just drink for the pleasure. All right? And this is it. In the same verse, in the same chapter, it states that there are going to be young boys who are going to be servants. Those young boys are going to serve the inheritors of the paradise, and whatever drink they want, they will just serve them in cups that are made of gold and silver. My question is, what did those boys do that they are going to be servants for all eternity? Because, listen, in the Quran, everything that happens in paradise is going to be for all eternity. So if a person is going to be, let me say, a servant, that person is going to be a servant for eternity. So if really that is what is stated, then it means that those boys are going to be servants for all eternity. What wrong did they do that they are going to be servants? It is a question to be answered. So the reality is, when we say boys, children are such beautiful creatures that makes a person's worry go away, particularly when they are playing around. When they are playing around, it's so marvelous. It's really pleasant. You watch and you are happy. So that is the delight. And if such children are going to be there, it signifies that you will be there, and not really remember any problem whatsoever, and you're not going to be troubled by anything. So if there is going to be wine in Al-Jannah, who is going to serve it? There is not going to be any servant. And you would not have to go walk all the way for your alcohol. So the real meaning of wine in Al-Jannah is that there is not going to be any problems for you to worry about. There is not going to be anything that you are to think of that will make you depressed. The real meaning of waters of wine means that for all eternity you have nothing to worry about for as long as you inherit Al-Jannah. So for as long as you are in paradise, you have nothing to think about. You have nothing to worry about. That is the meaning of the wine. It doesn't mean you have to go and get your wine and drink. Let's go on. Honey, being the means of curing many a disease, represents good and righteous deed which makes the believer beloved of men. So honey cures many diseases. Now, when you look at the life we have today, because of illness, because of sickness, we are not, healthy because of our health. We have numerous problems because of someone's illness. He has pressure, blood pressure, and she also has blood pressure because of headache, because of pain in the leg, because of just something that made the person fear, or let me say scared. The pressure came up and the person has to be rushed to hospital because of diseases. We don't have our peace of mind. So God said that you will be given honey. What is the use of honey? Honey is used to cure many diseases. So if there is going to be rivers of honey in Al-Jannah, it means that you are going to be immune from all illnesses. You will not be ill once you are in paradise. So if you will not be ill once you are in paradise, then it means that you have nothing to worry about. So all your problems have been taken away. That is the meaning. So if you don't think that paradise, Al-Jannah, the hereafter, is spiritual, and you make it so physical, then you miss the meaning of what it really stands for. So it does not mean that you're going to take honey and drink. It only means that you're going to get a life which is filled with good health. A life which is free from diseases and illnesses and pain and agony. You will not get all those things in the hereafter, no, particularly when you inherit the paradise. The continuation of it is that you will also, in return, become the beloved of men. Because Ani also means what? A person who out of his or her deed, what? Is sweet. So, once you are given rivers of honey, consistently flowing, everyone will love you. That is the meaning. It does not mean that you're going to get a cup, fill it with honey from the stream and drink. That is not the meaning. It is solely spiritual. It should be kept that way. The next one is, take it in the physical sense. When you take all these things in the physical sense, that is, pertaining to the present life, the verse would signify that in the present life, the believers will have in plenty all those things which make life pleasant, delightful, and useful. So, if there should be the word of the Quran which says that you'll be given rivers of honey, rivers of milk, rivers of wine, rivers of what is the last one? Honey, yeah, honey, milk, wine, okay, and river itself, yeah. So if a person is given all that, it means that you have a life which is what? Pleasant, right? Like, I mean, full of joy, happiness, and all. If that is the situation, if we are to take it in the physical sense. And physically, yeah, that is how it is. You drink it and it becomes like that. But since this is spiritual, God has already implanted it, given it to you, that you're not going to worry about anything. All right. Now let's continue. The verse would have signifies blah 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 blah. Plenty of okay in the life. Okay, pleasant, delightful, and useful. And taken symbolically and in a spiritual sense, it would mean that believers would have a full life. Full life. They will be endowed with spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge. Will drink the wine of God's love. You would have the drink of God's love. That is what we call maradotillah. God will be pleased with you. God will be pleased with you. And will do deeds that will win for them love and esteem of men. Dear viewers, at this point, if even I don't say anything again, I am sure you now understand what the Quran means. If it talks about people who inherit the paradise having everything they need. In summary, I would say that when the Quran makes mention of anything and it is related to what? The spiritual, when it is related to spiritual or spirituality, or particularly in the hereafter, it means that that very thing should not be made physical. Rather, the implications of those things is what will happen. So that very thing which should be taken in the physical sense, for you to experience what you have to experience in the spiritual realm, you're going to be given that in abundance without taking them in first, because it is the soul we are talking about here. It is the soul, it is not the body. So if it is the soul that is going to inherit the paradise, and you think that the soul has to take in physical food, physical drink, physical fruits, then I'm sorry, you are missing the point. So the point here is, if it talks about women who are going to have beautiful eyes, and they are going to look beautiful, women who are going to be like pearls in Al-Jannah, it means that those things that are going to be pleasant and those things which are pleasant in this world are going to be in abundance. You are going to have that in abundance. It does not really have to be, physical for you to see it with your naked eyes before. No. That's not what it means. So if this is the condition which the Quran teaches us, and we do not understand, then we will miss the point. God did not say that he has, stopped us from taking alcohol, and because of that, he will give us alcohol in Al-Jannah. No, that's not the reason. That is not true. If it was to be like that, then what about those who will not go to Al-Jannah but go to Jahannam? Are they supposed to take alcohol? Are they supposed to? So if we don't take care, we will miss the point. And today, I said I'm taking my time because this is very, very important when it comes to religion. So many people have missed the point. And because they missed the point, they, went away from the real teachings. And they are rather, turning people against religion, taking them away from the reality of religion. Religion is not a bad thing. It is a good thing. It is a way of life. A life that is free from alcoholism. A life that is free from drugs. A life that is free from, illegal drugs, let me say. A life that is free from all sort of immoral acts. A life that is free from everything which is, impurity, everything that is dirty. That is what we're talking about here. So if that is what we have to look at, then religion is a good thing because it prevents you and the society from harm. If people were to do away with alcoholism, and all social vices, things that, sort of will create harm to other people, then the society would have been peaceful, it would have been good, it would have been okay. But because people forgot about what the religion stands for, that is why they are doing things that they do and doing things the way they are doing it right now. It is rather unfortunate, brethren. I will end my speech here and continue some other time. But before I do, I'll plead with you, please, kindly subscribe, share, and comment so that we will know what it is that is, faulty when it comes to our video, and other people will also get the chance to benefit from what we share. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.